Now on BBC One, Inside Out with Toby Foster.
Good evening and welcome to Inside Out. Tonight we're at Ampleforth Abbey in North Yorkshire. Hello, I'm Toby Foster. Now, it's a beautiful winter's day down here at Ampleforth Abbey, and it looks a fairly tranquil place. But behind the scenes, it's a hive of activity as they produce artisan ciders from the orchards here. We'll have more about that later, but first, we're with severely injured soldier Ben Parkinson as he has specialist oxygen treatment for his brain injury. Also tonight, Dr. Phil Hammond tries to find out just how much our new hospitals are costing the taxpayer.
It cost 112 to build. The final amount will end up paying 441 million.
Crazy.
Now, Doncaster paratrooper Ben Parkinson has become the first British soldier to receive oxygen therapy. Ben and his family are hoping it will assist his recovery from the serious brain injury he received in Afghanistan more than 8 years ago. Our reporter, Emma Glasby, has been given exclusive access to the hospital in Scotland where he's receiving his treatment.
Lance Bombardier Ben Parkinson was the most seriously injured British serviceman to survive his wounds. His recovery has been an inspiration. Doctors said the paratrooper from Doncaster would not walk or talk again, but that never stopped him making it clear where he saw his future.
Stay in the army.
Come on, get ugly!
Ben has fought hard to prove the doctors wrong.
We had no right to expect Ben to make this kind of recovery. It doesn't usually happen. It is a miracle, perhaps, a commonly used word, but in Ben's case, that's just what it is.
Now Ben is preparing to travel to Scotland for pioneering treatment.
Excited. I'm really excited.
Do you think this treatment will make a big difference to you?
I know it will. I will walk and talk better.
Back in the summer of 2006, Lance Bombardier Ben Parkinson was coming to the end of a 7-month tour of Afghanistan. He had less than a fortnight to go.
We were so relieved. We thought it was over and he'd come through. And just a normal day, a knock on the door at 6 in the evening, and when I went to answer the door, it was a man in uniform, and I knew.
Ben had suffered massive injuries in a landmine explosion in Helmand province.
He lost both his legs below the knee, he fractured his pelvis, both his lungs collapsed, all his ribs were broken, he lost his spleen, he broke his back in 4 places, he lost his voice, and of course the massive brain injury. I don't think I realised that he'd sort of been written off and was being brought back to die with his family.
Let's get each one as clear as you can get it.
The fuzzy bee buzzing in the fuzzy beehive.
Okay.
In the 8 years since he was injured, Ben has continued to defy medical opinion.
That was better.
You must be pleased with how well your talking is going.
And I can.
Because you want to improve so much more.
No, I will improve so much more.
Doctors said he would never walk again, but Ben didn't listen. He's now preparing to leave his home in Doncaster to become the first serving British soldier to undergo what's called hyperbaric oxygen therapy.
This is getting better, Ben. This is getting better. I'm very excited by it. I've seen it work with multiple sclerosis patients, so I know it has an effect. And in Ben's case, we think it's going to be a long-term effect.
It's very hard not to get very excited. We're trying to go up there with no expectations, but we really do think this could be massive for Ben.
Ben will be treated at Castle Craig Hospital in the Scottish Borders, alongside his friend and former Royal Marine Stephen Thomas. He suffered a brain injury in a scooter crash in Thailand. What are you hoping for from this treatment?
Hopefully my speech and my memory as well. Speech and memory. I'm optimistic, but inside I'm realist.
What's going to happen, we're going to just put some more air in the chamber and that'll increase the pressure. At a certain point you'll be asked to put the mask on.
Today, Ben and Stephen will be having their first session in the oxygen chamber.
Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is the delivery of 100% oxygen at greater than ambient pressure. That's essentially it. And in order to do that we need a pressure chamber like this one and a system to deliver oxygen, and in our chamber we use masks just like this one.
It is quite a big deal, isn't it, because Ben is the first British soldier to be treated with this oxygen therapy.
Yes, I believe he is. Having treated various American soldiers, I'm very pleased to be able to treat one of our own, if you like. You've got to come in and put a foot down.
Ben and Stephen will be closely monitored to see how they react to the oxygen therapy.
OK, Gordon, that's us ready to go.
OK, start the compress.
They'll go into the chamber almost every day for the next few weeks. Once it's at the right pressure, they will spend an hour inside breathing pure oxygen.
Right, now it's important to make a good seal, so I'll put this nice and tight here then. What we need to do is give you so much oxygen that it kind of starts dissolving in all the fluids in your body, and you're mainly fluid.
More than 1,000 patients have received oxygen therapy here at Castle Craig to help treat addictions to alcohol and drugs and conditions like multiple sclerosis, cerebral palsy and autism.
Ben, everything okay? Great.
The doctors say the oxygen will repair soft tissue damage to Ben's legs and could stimulate damaged areas of the brain, helping speech, balance and memory.
OK, that's masks off, Ben.
And after just one session, Ben believes he's already feeling the benefits.
It was brilliant, very, very good. I'm already talking better. Already.
Both Ben and Stephen are members of Pilgrim Bandits. It's a small charity set up to help wounded soldiers and will be paying for their oxygen therapy here in Scotland.
We saw the results that they were getting in the States, and so we looked into it to see if it was possible to do it in the UK. We like breaking boundaries, we like, breaking areas. It hasn't been done before, as far as we are aware of, with any current serving soldier or any vet. And so, if it comes off, great.
Ben will have to wait to see the results of the oxygen therapy, but according to his family, he's feeling better already.
He woke up this morning, said he had the best night's sleep he's had for quite a while, and I thought Ben slept fairly well anyway, so for him to say that is pretty encouraging, because that's what they told us to expect.
It's surprising really that you don't hear more about this. Perhaps, you weren't told about this years ago.
Yeah, it is quite confusing. I don't know why. I'd like to know why, but perhaps when we see some of the results, we might be asking those questions as well, and see where we take it from here.
And no doubt other injured British soldiers will be watching with interest to see whether oxygen therapy makes a difference to Ben's recovery. Do you think if it comes off, it could be something that maybe the Ministry of Defence funded in future?
Well, under the military covenant, while they've still got serving soldiers, and it does prove to be, it works, then I think they'll have to look into it, yeah.
For the next few weeks in Scotland, Ben will continue physiotherapy and is determined to stay as fit and healthy as possible.
I want to walk better, talk better, eat better, and sleep better, everything.
However his body responds to the oxygen therapy, Ben, as always, will be determined to carry on making the best recovery he possibly can. We'll let you know how he gets on.
Now, if you'd like to tell us what you think about that, or if you've got a story that we should be covering, you can get in touch via Twitter or Facebook. Still to come on Inside Out, the cider brewed by monks that's giving the West Country a run